Welcome, senior citizens of Barnwell and hopefully all of South Carolina. We are here with our Generation Unlimited Barnwell Senior Programming. We are super excited today. We are a little bit early entering your Facebook pages and your YouTube page, but that's okay because we have some really cool programming today. We're going to start today off with Amber Brown, a pharmacist from Daniel's Pharmacy in Barnwell, South Carolina. She is going to talk to us about the COVID-19 vaccine. If you are watching this and you have any questions while she's going through her presentation, comment them on the post, let us know. And if you're watching this post the live show, go ahead and comment those questions anyways. We'll see what we can do about getting those answered. After her, we've got Chris Crozier with Mobile Mentors coming here to Tech 101. He's going to talk about some really cool topics in tech. And I know that I am going to leave educated. And after him, we're going to have a live cooking show. We have a slight complication with our cooking show program today, which means we are going to have professional chef Jamie Oliver doing a cooking show for us live on this channel. It's going to be very exciting. And we're going to finish everything off with some yoga, some deep breathing, some aerobic exercise that you guys can do every day with Clemson Snap Ed. So with that being said, I'll put this little comment your questions on the post ticker up so that you guys know comment questions at any time. And let me introduce everybody to Amber with Daniel's Pharmacy. Amber, thanks for being with us today.
Hey, thanks for having me.
What are you planning to talk about today?
So today we're going to go over a little bit about COVID-19 and the vaccinations that are now available.
Okay. Well, I'm going to take myself out of this because I am not an expert here, and we're going to let you take this away. Amber, thanks for doing this. I'll see you on the other side.
Okay. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. My name is Amber Brown. I am a pharmacist with Daniel's. I'm here in Barnwell. So this morning, like you said, we're going to be talking about COVID-19 and the new COVID-19 vaccinations. So I hope that by the end of this presentation that any questions that you may have, I'm able to answer throughout this presentation. Or if you have any other questions, you can always comment here, or you could call Daniel's Pharmacy and talk to one of the pharmacists there. So I'm going to go into the presentation. So to begin with, what is COVID-19 and how is it spread? So simply put, COVID-19 is an illness caused by a virus that can spread from person to person. The virus that causes COVID-19 is a new coronavirus that has spread throughout the world. You can become infected by coming into close contact, so about 6 feet, which is about 2 arms length, with a person who has COVID-19. So COVID-19 is primarily spread, so the main way it is spread is from person to person. You become infected from respiratory droplets when an infected person coughs, sneezes, talks to you, sings, or breathes on you. You may also be able to get the vaccine or get the virus by touching a surface or object that has the virus on it, and then by touching your mouth, your nose, or your eyes. But like I said, the primary way that the virus is spread is from person to person. So why does COVID-19 matter to us? So for now, COVID-19 has been around. I think the first case in the U.S. was reported in January, so it's been around for about a year now. People with COVID-19 have had a very wide range of symptoms reported. Some people have very mild illness, so they don't even know that they have the virus. And it ranges to much more severe illness. Symptoms that have been reported have been cough, shortness of breath, difficulty breathing, fever, chills, muscle pain, sore throat, And a common symptom between most people that have experienced COVID-19 have been a new loss of taste or smell. These symptoms may appear from 2 to 14 days after you've been exposed to the virus. And the incubation period, which is the number of days between when you're infected and when you might see symptoms, is anywhere from 1 to 14 days. And during this incubation time period, you can be contagious. So there are a lot of unknown things that we don't know about the virus, but there are some facts that we do know. We do know that COVID can be fatal. I think we've all experienced this in our communities. And you are at risk of getting very sick. Unfortunately, people at any age can get COVID, even young, healthy adults and children. We do know that people who are older or have certain underlying medical conditions are at risk of getting very sick from COVID-19. So some things that we can do to prevent ourselves from getting COVID-19. So we want to avoid close contact with sick individuals. We want to frequently wash our hands with soap and water. You don't want to put your hands in your face if you haven't washed them. And you want to practice social distancing. I think we've all have heard this numerous times, to be at least 6 feet away from others if possible. So because COVID-19 vaccines currently are so limited in our state and across the country, those who are most vulnerable to the death or severe complications from COVID-19 are prioritized to receive the vaccine first. So the CDC set forth different phases and a timeline as to when you're eligible to receive the vaccine. We started off with phase 1 for COVID-19 vaccines, and the first to receive the vaccines were healthcare personnel who were at most risk at coming in contact with the virus, and those in the nursing homes or long-term care facilities. We then moved into vaccinating those 75 and over, and moved for more essential workers also. We're currently in phase 1A in South Carolina with vaccinating more healthcare workers, more essential workers, and those 65 and over. So this is just a graphic that shows an overview of how vaccine distribution is prioritized, moving from phase 1 to phase 3. So the CDC has made recommendations for who should be offered COVID-19 vaccines first. And then each state came up with its own plan for deciding who will be vaccinated first and how you can be vaccinated. So this is just an example of a timeline for the different phases. For the vaccine. South Carolina's looks a little different than this. You can go to southcarolinadhec.gov to stay up to date on what phase we're currently in within our state. It's also a good resource to see where you can go to get the vaccine, how you can get signed up, or numbers that you can call if you don't have access to doing that yourself. So like I said, in South Carolina, we are currently still in phase 1A. I think Monday started vaccinations for those 65 and over. You can also contact the local senior center here in Barnwell. They are more than happy to help you get signed up or to point you in the right direction. I think the health department in Barnwell has started giving vaccines. There's been a clinic in Barnwell set up to help get our seniors vaccinated. I know some local doctor's offices are starting to do clinics also. So if you need any help or have any questions about getting signed up, you can also call us at Daniel's Pharmacy. We can help you, or you can call the Senior Center directly. So I know we have lots of questions about COVID-19 vaccinations, and the number one thing that we're most concerned about is the vaccine safe? Is it okay for me to get? So vaccines would not be distributed until the FDA determines the vaccine is safe. So while it may seem like the vaccine was developed very quickly, it's important to know that messenger RNA vaccines have been studied for years before we even saw the first case of COVID-19. They were already in development. Vaccines have to go through more testing than any other pharmaceutical, including extensive testing and clinical trials. Also, the FDA and CDC's Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices ensure that any vaccine is both safe and effective prior to approval and distribution. There's also reporting systems in place to report any moderate and severe adverse events. So you might think that it's better to get natural immunity rather than immunity from vaccines. However, this is a direct statement from the CDC's guidelines. It says both this disease and the vaccine are new. We don't know how long protection lasts for those who get infected or those who are vaccinated. What we do know is that COVID-19 has caused very serious illness and death for a lot of people. If you get COVID-19, you're at risk. You're also at risk giving it to loved ones who may get very sick. Getting a COVID-19 vaccine is a safer choice. So I know some of us out there are afraid to get shots or afraid to get immunizations. You don't want it to get hurt and you're worried that you're going to get sick. Most people don't have any serious problems after being vaccinated. You may have a sore red arm and might be worn to touch. Both of the injections available are intramuscular, so they're going to go in your upper arm. So it's very common to have a sore arm, but these symptoms will usually go away within a week or so on their own. Some of the side effects that you may get after receiving the vaccine would be a headache, fever, may have body aches or muscle aches. And this is actually just a sign that your immune system is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. It's just a natural response from our bodies. If you do have these side effects, you may take acetaminophen, which is Tylenol, or ibuprofen. Those will both help with any mild pain or fevers that you have from the vaccine. These symptoms usually go away within 24 to 48 hours. So getting the vaccine cannot give you COVID-19. It does not contain the live virus. Are there any serious side effects that we should be worried about with the vaccine? So COVID-19 vaccines are still being tested in large clinical trials to assess their safety. As more people are vaccinated, we're going to learn more about the vaccine and the long-term side effects that it may have. Safety monitoring will continue as the CDC has a group of experts that review all the safety data that comes in. If a safety issue is detected, they will take immediate action to determine if it's related to COVID-19, and they will determine the best course of action. When this presentation was put together, there had only been 4 associated deaths, and that was globally, and none of them were in the US. So if you've already had COVID-19, should you get vaccinated? So COVID-19 vaccines should be offered regardless of whether someone has already been infected with the virus. And you should not be required to have an antibody test done before being vaccinated. If you're currently infected with the virus, then you should wait to get vaccinated until after the illness has resolved, you feel better, you're off your isolation requirements, and you've spoken to your doctor. Current evidence suggests that reinfection with the virus from COVID-19 is uncommon within 90 days after initial infection. Therefore, if you've had a recent infection, you may delay your vaccination until the end of that 90 days and that you've spoken with your doctor. So in short, if you're eligible to get the vaccine, it is recommended that you get it, even if you've had COVID-19. And why is this? Because there is not enough information on how long our natural immunity, so the antibodies your body makes from having the virus, lasts. We do know that these antibodies from having the virus do decline over time. So what are some precautions that we should take when getting the vaccine? So some of the reasons that you should not be vaccinated is if you've had a severe allergic reaction to a previous dose or component of the vaccine. If you've had an immediate allergic reaction of any severity to a previous dose of the vaccine. So if you've had a history of immediate allergic reaction to any other vaccine or injectable therapy, or if you're currently sick. So when we say immediate allergic reactions, that is a hypersensitivity related signs or symptoms such as urticaria, which is a really bad rash or hives, angioedema, so you had swelling in your mouth, tongue, respiratory distress, wheezing, inability to breathe, and these symptoms had to occur within 4 hours following exposure to a vaccine or medication. So if you have other health conditions, can you still get vaccinated? So people with HIV or weakened immune systems or autoimmune diseases, Guillain-Barré syndrome or Bell's palsy, you're at a higher risk for developing severe COVID-19 infections. Currently, though, there is not enough data available on the safety of these vaccines for this category yet. So currently in the United States, we have two vaccines available for you to get. There's the Pfizer and the Moderna. There's also several other vaccines that are currently being in the works to be distributed. So first, we have our Pfizer vaccine. It is approved for ages 16 and older. This vaccine is a 2-dose series, and you, after your first dose in 21 days, you get your second dose. And as I mentioned before, these are intramuscular injections. The second vaccine that became available was the Moderna vaccine. It's approved for ages 18 and over. It's also a 2-dose series. However, this one is separated by 28 days. So a big question we all have is there going to be enough vaccinations for everyone? And the goal is for everyone to have access once larger quantities become available. We hope to have locations through your doctor's offices, retail pharmacies, hospitals, and other qualified health care centers. So what can we do now to protect ourselves before and after the vaccination? So number one, avoid close contact with people who are sick. Cover your mouth and nose with a mask when you're around others. If anyone in your household has COVID-19, you should know to stay home and isolate to prevent the spreading. And 3, practice social distancing. Try to stay 6 feet away from others. Avoid going in large crowds. And number 4, wash your hands often. especially following direct contact with other people or surfaces. So I know we're talking about COVID-19 vaccinations, but it's also important to stay up to date on all of our other vaccines that we have available to prevent any other illness or infections. So we have posted here vaccines available, and you can look at these to make sure that you've had all the doses that you need and that you're up to date. So after you get the vaccine, you still have to practice social distancing. You still have to wear your mask. The duration of the vaccine's effectiveness is still being studied, so we don't know how long the vaccine protects us for. You still need to stay home if anyone in your family is infected, so we can prevent the spreading. So we talked about after the vaccine, you may have some signs and symptoms or side effects such as fever, fatigue, headache, chills, joint pain, muscle pain. However, these symptoms are usually short-lasting and resolve within 1 to 2 days. It's more frequent to get these side effects after your second dose, and it was reported that younger persons less than 55 were more likely to have these side effects. If you develop cough, shortness of breath, runny nose, sore throat, loss of your smell or taste, these are not consistent with post-vaccination symptoms, and you may have COVID-19 or another infection, so you would need to contact your doctor. If you have any more severe reactions, you need to contact your doctor so that these symptoms can be reported to the FDA. So the references that we used for this presentation were from the CDC and the FDA. So that is all we have right now. So if there's any questions, like I said, you can contact us at Daniels, or you can leave a comment here. So thank you. Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much for being here, Amber. If people want to give you guys a call, what's the phone number?
It's 803-259-1234.
And so if people are signing up for vaccines right now, is there like a waiting period that they might expect to face? Are they going to talk to a human? Like what do you recommend for them?
I think it depends on whether you have internet access or not. I think the quickest way would be just signing up online, but not everybody has that opportunity. I know there's a number posted on DHEC's website that you can call, and maybe a longer wait if you have to call. But
okay,
that's an option. Some of the clinics, though, do not require appointments, so that's also an option.
Okay.
For some people.
And if people are having trouble, from my side personally, I would recommend give us a call at Generations Unlimited. We've definitely got a staff that is wanting to help people get their vaccines, sign people up. Local Motion, our public transportation system, we're driving people to the vaccine sites. Give us a call. Give Daniel's Pharmacy a call if you have questions about the vaccine itself. Amber, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Enjoyed it. Thanks for having me.
Bye. All right, everybody. Up next, we're going to have one with Chris Crozier. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a break because we did start off early today. So we'll be back in about 7 or 8 minutes with Tech 101.
For a long time, was a long, long time ago. We lived in the apartment downstairs. I was upstairs too, and I don't wanna go back there. I'm sure that needing to you know it's true. You get old and you get old. Friends or lovers or ex-lovers or whatever, I hope you know I'll always care. Friends or lovers or ex-lovers or whatever, just call my name, I'll be there. Well, I think it was December, I really don't remember. It came to a head in February. I told you I don't wanna go back there. I'd rather not, I just forgot, like I always do. We're friends, we're lovers, we're ex-lovers or whatever. I hope you know I'll always care. We're friends or lovers, we're ex-lovers or whatever. Just call my name, I'll be there. Just call my name and I'll be there.
All right, running a little ahead of the schedule today, we have the illustrious Chris Crozier from Mobile Mentors popping right in. And here he is.
Hey everybody, how's it going? Can y'all hear me?
I can hear you really, really well, Chris. How are you doing today?
I am doing fantastic today. Thank you so much for asking.
Did you dress up for us?
I did not, unfortunately. I actually feel like I'm very casual today with a ball cap on and a polo. I usually end up having like a white shirt and a tie or something like that. But today, I got a few appointments where I need to be a little bit more mobile, and I need to bend down and clean up wires and cables and things like that. So it's a little bit more casual today. So.
Is that what the mobile mentors means?
That is one of the pieces, but the other part is the fact that we actually come to you, whereas you don't have to come to us. And so you don't have to come to some stuffy computer store and tell them, well, at my house, it does this. And they're like, well, it doesn't do that here. And you're like, well, it does at my house. And I'm like, oh, okay. So it's kind of like when you take your car to the mechanic and you're like, keeps making this noise, and then when you get there, it doesn't make the noise. But if the mechanic just came over to your house, then he'd be able to hear it. And so what I do is I like to be the mechanic that comes over to your house, and I find out, oh, maybe it's actually just this here plug needs to be redone.
It's the router from 2010 that you're still using.
Yeah, we'll just fix it with a new router, or we'll just get you something fancier, and you'll be on your way.
So what are we talking about today, Chris?
Today we have a wide variety of questions that hopefully will be submitted in. Looking at you guys, whoever's attending. But also what we're going to be talking about is word processing tools. And that doesn't just mean Microsoft Office, which is Word, but we're going to be talking about Google Docs. We're going to be talking about Pages. We're going to be talking about even notes that are on Apple devices. But if you have an Android device, there's a note-taking app in there as well. But we're going to be talking about a wide variety of those things. Okay. I probably will go pretty fast just because it's a lot of stuff to cover. But who knows? Maybe I'll slow it down. Maybe not. Just depends on what's going on and Who's asking questions? Who's talking to me? Give me some things to work off of. But yeah, that's what's going on today.
All right. You want me to stick around
Do
with
you, David, have anything in particular that you would like to learn?
Not 100% yet. I think once I hear you talk, you'll inspire me a little bit.
All right.
One thing that always bothers me is that if I'm doing a document on Word or if I'm doing a document on Google, the tools to operate those are not the same. And it's very frustrating to me to have to like get in these two different mindsets. And that doesn't even include Pages, which I also have. You know, Chris, I think we may have you or myself going through a tunnel right now.
You broke up there for a second.
Okay, I'm the one going through the tunnel. Okay, gotcha. You know, we pay for this nice internet up here. I may need to have a mobile expert come here and tell me why it's not working correctly.
Maybe you do.
That's enough about me. I'm going to take myself out. Do you want me to stick around?
I just want to ask you just one or two more questions, if that's all right with you.
Oh, I'll stick around as long as you want. I got nowhere to be.
Let's see. So for me, it's when you're using your Word documents on a daily basis, what does that look like for you? Do you find that it's difficult because you're switching through different programs and that different people use different programs, and so you kind of have to associate with those people and what they're using and things like that?
That is definitely what's going on.
Okay.
You know, if I have to format a Word document and then I need to convert it to a PDF and then I need to reformat it, or if I'm typing something up on Google and then I save it as a Word document and it doesn't save how I wanted it, so now I have to go in and the controls are different, my mind is just blown. I barely want to do the work in the first place.
For sure. Now, the age-old thing that's happening currently is people are wrapped up and they're just stuck in their way of saying Microsoft Word is the only thing that I can use. It's the only thing I feel comfortable with. It's the only thing that I know that works for me. But you've never tried anything else. And so for me, I'm thinking like, wait a second, you just told me that you can't work on anything else and Microsoft Word is the only thing that works. And then I'll ask you questions on it and you don't know how it works. And I'm just thinking like, there's something way better for you out there. You just haven't unlocked it yet.
There must be a better way.
Yes, 100%. And so like, I always like to use the terminology. You've been eating chicken nuggets, but you've never tried filet mignon and you're just worried that this isn't good enough. And it just looks different. And so you're not willing to try it out. And so this actually will give you the opportunity to look at these different programs, see if that's something that's going to fit your lifestyle, see if that's going to fit something when it comes to how intuitive it is or how easy it is to use. So I would highly recommend sticking around, asking some questions. I'd love to help you out however I can. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump into a few different ones, and then I'll probably call you back, David, just to show you a few different things. And we'll kind of decide what's the best one for you. I have my choice, but that's me. And I'm a little hard-headed at times, but just at times. But yeah, I'm going to pop off, and I'm going to show a few different things that's out there. And hopefully people will start asking questions and start telling me how handsome I look today and how good a job I'm doing. You know, who knows?
That off. You look handsome today, and you're doing a great job.
Man, I love that. This is the best.
I have a preferred program, but I'm not going to tell you what it is. I want to see after this if it's still my preferred program, and then I'll tell you about it at the end.
Interesting. Okay, great. Wonderful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and I am going to start sharing my screen.
All right.
And I am going to first start off with telling you guys what we're looking at. So a lot of people will tell me, Christopher, I don't have Microsoft Office. I don't have any of these other features. I don't have the things that I want, because what came with my computer doesn't seem to be what I really need, or it doesn't seem to have the Microsoft Office that I'm used to. And so some of the new computers aren't coming with Microsoft Office. So you'll buy a computer that's Windows 10 that you spend $600, $700 on, and then you go, oh, well, now I've got to go buy this program, or now I've got to go buy that program, and now I've got to buy all of these different things, and it comes out to being a whole lot more expensive than you thought it would be. So what I'm showcasing on the screen here is the prices of what you're going to be looking at if you were to buy Microsoft Office today. And so I'm going to give you a breakdown of what those prices look like, and then that way you can feel a little bit more comfortable with what you're buying, what your dollars are going to. So now what a lot of people will do is they'll buy the one-time purchase product, and you can do that. And I'll show you what that price looks like. If we go to this section right here. Now we can see that there's 3 sections. And on those 3 sections, there are Microsoft 365 for the family, and it's $100 a year, or you can buy it at $10 a month. There's Microsoft 365 Personal, which is $70 a year or $7 a month. Then there is Microsoft Office Home and Student 2019, which is $150. Now, I'm sure you're asking, Christopher, why does it say 2019? And I'll tell you, because most of the time they won't update it to a certain new one until after 3 or 4 years. So you're going to pay $150 for an older program, and it stays that older program. You don't get updates. You don't get anything like that. You just get what's listed there. But you can use it forever until they stop supporting it. So then if you look at the other ones, if you're going to get Microsoft Office 365, I highly recommend that you get one that's going to be best for your family. If you need for more than one person, go with the $100 option. You're going to save $20 in the process, and you're going to have that for the year. If you are a personal one and you want it just for your computer, I recommend getting the $70 version. Now, the reason why I tell you that is because Microsoft Office 365 allows you to pick and choose where you want to use that device, whether that be on a tablet, whether you want it to be on your phone, which I know it's crazy to think about, but you'll find out that there's more cases that you want to use Microsoft Office 365 than other just your computer. And you'll see why later on, but we'll talk about that. But now what's also great is it comes with the whole Office suite. It comes with Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, Excel, Outlook, OneDrive, and we'll get into OneDrive and what that means a little bit later. We can even do a lesson on that if that's something that you guys are interested in. So then with all of those different things that you get in that particular package, it also gives you the ability to access it on your phone, your tablet, your laptop, or your computer. So for me, seeing that as a whole is a benefit to me, but also knowing that as a new update comes out, or let's say Microsoft Office 2022 comes out, when I'm paying for it on a yearly basis, it automatically updates me to the newer version. I don't have to go out and spend $150 on something. I don't have to go out and spend whatever, because I'm already paying for it and I'm already getting those updates. So I think buying that Office 365 Personal, either by the monthly or the yearly subscription, the yearly is going to give you the best bang for your buck. But that is what I would recommend personally for if you're going to use Microsoft Office. Now, the next thing that I want to talk about is Google Docs. Now, Google Docs are actually free. So instead of paying a ton of money, or $70 or $100 or $150 or $70 a year, remember that if you've been tuning in, you've probably seen my talk on Gmail. Now, Gmail actually has something built into it, and part of the Gmail suite is something called Google Docs. Now, I can show you what that looks like Let me log into mine real quick. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And I'm going to share this other tab. And so now we've got this here. Now, if you notice, I'm going to move my cursor and it should get a little bit bigger so you guys can see where it's at. And I'm going to click right over here where it's got those 9 dots. Those indicate my Google apps. Now, when I click on those Google apps, I can scroll down and see a wide variety of different things that I have for. Now, you probably heard me say this before, but I'll say it again. If we click on Google Docs here, we're going to open it up. Now, I know you probably saw like Google Sheets and Slides, which is Google's version of Excel and PowerPoint, and you already have access to those things. It's not something extra you have to pay for. And what's good about it is you can access it from your phone, your tablet, any of your other devices for free. You don't have to pay a monthly fee. And the other thing is it works with everybody else's stuff. Everybody else has the ability to access Google Docs. So I can click here on starting a new document, but what kind of document do I want to do? So if I click on template gallery, I can see a whole list of resumes, letters, personal work, like all sorts of things here, sales, human resources, education. All of these different things are already there and they're already built in. But what I want to do today is I just want to start off with a blank sheet. That's typically what we're going to use, a blank sheet. We want to start off something. We want to put in a recipe. We want to put in a sermon. We want to put in anything that we want. And we've got it all right there. So now, if you're looking at this, you're probably thinking, dang, Christopher, let me switch this over so you can see this screen. Let's see. Probably thinking, dang, Christopher, that looks just like Microsoft Word. That looks just like it. I mean, it's even got the toolbar on there. So what I want to do is I'm going to ask David if he can take me off the screen, and I'm just going to have this blown up as big as possible. And that way you can see just that. So we're going to go right over here, and we can see that we've got a whole list of stuff right here. So we can we can print directly here. We've got a paint format. We've got the ability to make our font sizes bigger, bold, italics, underline. We can change the color of the text. It looks exactly the same as all the other ones look like. And if you don't believe me, let me just pull up what Microsoft Office looks like. I appreciate y'all being patient with me. now if we come, I'll log out of this and I will show you guys. Oh man, look at that. Microsoft Office. If we look at the top, we can see the same thing that we've seen before. We look here, we've got our insert, our file, our layout. What's this? Paint format, just like we saw on Google Docs. We can make the size bigger. We can make the font larger. We can do bold, italics, underline. We can do all of the same things right here that we could do right on Google Docs. So, I mean, my thing to you is asking, what is it specifically that you're looking for? What's the thing that you're saying, I want this, and it's going to make things easier for me? Now, we've gone through Google Docs, we've gone through Microsoft Word, and we're going to dive deeper into some of those. But what I want to show you is what's the easiest thing to use as well. And so I'm also going to show you another one. I'm getting you a lot of stuff, but I think you'll be interested in this next one. So I'm going to go and pull up. Let's see. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to exit off this guy. And I am going to share this screen instead. And now that I've got this in here, I can show you, hey, this is what it looks like for me. So I'll log into my iCloud.com, which I can do from any computer. And I have a program called Pages. And I know a lot of people are going to say, Christopher, I don't have Pages. I don't have iCloud. I don't have a whole variety of different things. Even iCloud on my computer, I just don't have those things. And I'd say, well, do you have a computer? They say, yeah. Well, then you can get Pages. Doesn't matter if it's an Android. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's a Mac or a PC. Now, the other thing is people will say, well, I don't have an iPhone. Good, you don't need it. You can put this on your Android. You have the ability to use it across any platform. And so that's one of the reasons why I want to show it to you as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to log in. I'm going to continue. And I'm going to go ahead and start a new document. And the way I do that is I can click this little plus button, start a new document. Whenever I switch tabs, it always makes me put in a new tab, so it makes it a little bit difficult. So what I'll do is I'm actually just going to show you on my whole screen. That's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to share my whole screen so you guys can see everything. Share my entire screen. Perfect. So I'm going to come here and I can look at my iCloud currently. So if I go there, I can see I have a whole list of different ones that are there. So I have got a blank landscape, even if I want to use a black background on something. If I want to do note taking, reports, monthly reports, all sorts of things. Now, first I'm going to show you, let's see. First, I'm going to show you this modern report. David, why don't you come back in here real quick? I want to talk to you real quick.
All right, here we are.
David, tell me this, David. When you're doing a report and it pulls up on your screen and let's say you've got it all typed out, right? What happens if you need to like insert a picture?
Well, it depends, right? But I think in your classic, you can sometimes have like the two windows, and you can drag something in, and then you got to kind of play with the settings, or you that insert button at the top, and then you go through your files and you type in the name, and then you click it, and then you click upload, right?
For sure.
What are we doing here?
Well, what we're doing here is I wanted to show you what happens when you're using Pages. So can you still see my screen well?
Yep.
All right. So right here we have a report. And I can title this David's Report. Save it. Boom. Sent there. Now, it looks a little different. And people are like, I don't know about this whole Pages thing. It looks different. But if I click right here and I go to change something, I can open up this little guy right over here. And now I've got my bold, my italics, my underline, my alignment. My entire toolbar has just been moved to the right-hand side. And now when I don't need that toolbar, I can click and move it out of the way. Now,
that's why you like Pages.
Well, I like Pages for a lot of reasons. And this reason that I'm going to show you is the reason for me that I think it is the coolest thing that's out there. It is the creme de la creme. To me, this. I'm going to go ahead and ruin the surprise, guys. This is what I like more than all of them. This is what I use. This is what I convinced somehow my family to use. It is the bee's knees, the cat's pajamas. This is the coolest feature. So what that is, so I'm going to click on this photo. When I click on the photo, let's say, I don't really like the way that this blue background is in it. So there's this thing called Instant Alpha. So what it does is you can click on a color and make it transparent. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this color and I want to make all of this kind of disappear. So I'll get rid of this here. Get rid of some of this blue. Now, I don't know if you noticed this or not, but when I did that, it made the words come up here. Do you notice that?
I did see that. What's that all about?
Huh. Now, what it did was it made it transparent so the words can now fit over it. But now the thing is, if I click right here, I can click arrange, and I want my text to wrap around this thing.
Huh.
And I go, you know what? That's pretty cool. I don't know too many cases when I would use that, but I have had a lot of instances where I'm using a Microsoft Word document or a Google Doc document, and I go to move a picture at any point on this thing. And what happens?
It changes everything.
It changes everything. Your margins go all over the place. Things are dropped down. You have to move everything just a smidge. Now, what happens when I click on this picture and I move it? it moves with me. It sets up the way I want it to be set up. So I have a whole lot of features and a whole lot of things that I can do, but just knowing that the fact that I am more in control and that it works with me makes everything easier. So now I can make sure it's lined up. I've seen this line over here on this left-hand side. I can make sure that everything is spelled the right way. I've got all of these different forms and functions and things that I can do. I actually had a guy named Jeff Foley. You may have heard of him. Brigadier General in the military, and he came to me and he had a book that he wanted to use, but he was using Microsoft Word and he had lost about 50 pages of this book and he couldn't find them. He switched over to Pages and all of his things were in order. Things that were missing were found, and he had the ability to find them just by switching to a different program. Now, David, you had brought up to me earlier, you said, Christopher, I don't like the fact that when I'm using a program, that this program tells me, hey, you've got to send this in a PDF, and you've got to send this in a Word document, and you've got to send this here. And it just makes things really difficult. Now, if everybody's using Pages, there's actually a little button right up here that says collaborate. And I can send this to people and we can work on a project together and make sure it's just right. But now, if I go up here to File, I can click Export To, and it gives me PDF, Word, Pages 09, ePublisher, plain text. So if I want to send this off to people, I have the ability to send this off directly to a PDF and send it to whoever needs to see it. I don't have to worry that they don't have Pages or they don't have Google Drive or Google Docs or Microsoft Word or whatever it is. I've got all of these options right here.
So this is interesting. I have a Mac, Chris, similar to you. My Mac came with Pages.
Correct.
If you don't have a Mac, I know that you can download it from your iCloud profile. Is it free?
It is free.
So you have to pay for it?
Nothing you have to pay for. You can go to iCloud.com or you can Google search iCloud on PC and actually have it downloaded to your computer for free. So you would have all the abilities of iCloud directly on your computer. You would have the ability to use Pages, Numbers, and Keynote, which is Apple's version of Word, Excel, and PowerPoint, all for free. Now, the other thing is that also means you have the ability to download the apps. Now, if you have an iPhone, you would have the ability to download those apps to the iPhone. If you don't have those, I am not sure. I do not believe they have made any supported apps for them. Now, a quick story for me is when I was in college, I had a professor who told me, Christopher, you did a great job on this paper, but unfortunately, I can only give you an 80. And I said, an 80? She said, yeah. And I said, why is that? And she said, it's because you did not provide a cover letter. And I said, huh? So I said, oh, no. I have a cover letter. And I said, but my printer just wasn't working at the time. Could I print it off here? And she said, of course you could. She said, but it has to be right after class. So I know you did it. And I said, yes, ma'am. So then I pulled out my phone and I pulled up Pages on my phone, created a cover letter right in Pages. And because of it, I was able to print directly from my phone. So that goes to even give you guys the insight that, let's say that a few of my clients, they love making recipes. They love it. And I love it too, because they share them with me and I get to make good stuff. And so oftentimes I'm like, hey, can you send that to me? Can you do these things for me? Can you tell me about this or anything like that? And they're like, it's in a Word document and I don't have my computer with me. If I'm able to make something on my phone, it automatically syncs. Now, when I was in college, I started using Microsoft Office, and I would work on a project or a paper for like 3-4 hours, and my battery would die, and I'd lose all my work, or something would happen with the internet and my computer would shut down or whatever it is, and I'd lose all my information, or something wouldn't save the right way. And I'm sure we've all had those horror stories. But one of the things that iCloud or Pages has recently done since it's come out, which has been since 2009, 2008, something like that. But one of the neat things that it does is when you make a different keystroke, when you change a color or a letter or whatever it may be, it automatically saves it every time. And so you never lose it. So what's been great is I've been working on a project. My computer died. I had to go somewhere else. I was able to pull up my phone and start working on it right there. And let's say that I have a great idea or a great novel idea, whatever I want to create. I could then take that information, start typing it up. And then by the time I get to my computer, it is already there for me. And so I would highly recommend that you guys check out Pages. I think it would be wonderful for you. Now, one of the other things that I wanted to touch base on really quickly is notes. And so a lot of people, they don't really need to write this whole long thing, or they want a specific just checklist or something to use instead of pulling up some big word processing file. And that for me, I was like, oh, you could just use Pages, or you could just use this. And they were like, yeah, but I don't really need that. And I was like, okay, well, what's a good alternative? What's a good substitute? So now with people having smartphones today, almost every phone has a notes application. Now I'm going to show you the one that comes on iPhones, because that's one of the things that I have. Plus, it's different, as I said in the last message that I did last week, but it's different for each different phone that's on the Android platform. So they won't be the same.
They kind of look similar, right? Like the way you use them is pretty similar.
The way you use them is pretty similar, but I want to make sure that I highlight the features that are going to be the same across all the platforms. So I can go in and I can show you guys what Notes looks like, and then see if that's something that would be beneficial to you guys. I use Notes quite often. I think it's a great beneficial feature, but I'm going to go ahead and pull up my notes, and I'm going to share my screen with you guys.
Yeah, I use Notes every day, Chris.
It's great. It is fantastic. So now if we look at Notes, what I'm going to do is actually keep a list of things about my girlfriend that I could possibly do for her, or buy her gifts and stuff. So don't hate me. I'm slightly a romantic. But what I did was I clicked this button right up here at the top. I'm going to make my screen full screen so you guys can see that a little bit better. Right up here at the top, there's a little square with a line going through it, and it's supposed to symbolize a pencil and composing a note.
Well, that's what that's supposed to be.
So what I can do is I can start typing. Now, what you'll notice is when I start typing, I can say David Dash Generations Unlimited. And so when I go to do that, if you notice on this left-hand side, it takes whatever is the first line and it makes that the title. So whatever you want the title to be, go ahead and put that in, because then once you start going down, it makes the font a lot smaller. Now, a lot of people can say, oh, I just need to write something down, or I need to get something off my chest, or maybe I need to remember a number or a recipe or whatever it may be. You have that ability. What I also like to do is there's a little button right up here at the top. And what it does is it actually makes a checklist for me. So I can say eggs, milk, not Nick, milk, bread, cheese, not Jesse, cheese. Oh, get over here. Do it again. There it is, cheese. And then I can do Alfredo sauce. So now I've got everything that I want there. And so when I come back to it, I can actually click on these things as I get them in the store. And now I already have my grocery checklist.
Chris, do you know I do one of those like every single week and make a to-do list for myself and then just go through it and knock things out. It makes me feel really good.
I did not know that, but like that's like there's something about making a checklist and having a way to check it off, and it just does something for people. So the other thing is if we're typing something up and I say top secret info, passwords to all of David's accounts. I'm getting ready to put it in. What I can do is I can go in here and I can lock the note. So I can say, yeah, I want to lock this note. And that way nobody can get into it. So maybe other people have seen you type in your passwords before. Maybe other people know similar passwords. What you can do is you can type in a specific password just for this one thing. And then you can say, this is a special hint to let you be reminded about it. But I could lock the note. So even if somebody were to get into my phone, they wouldn't be able to find out where I hold my passwords or where I keep my secret family recipe that is from Bush's Baked Beans. I don't know what you would use it for, but you could do stuff there. Now, a lot of people also put in other things, and people are like, it's just notes. I don't really have a lot to say. But if you go in here, there's actually photos. You can take a photo, and you can even scan a document. And so what I like to do is I can scan a document that will go right into what I've got going on. And I can say, you know what, this is better for me. What do I want to use as a whole? So David, what would you say is one of the things that you use notes for other than a checklist?
So really what I use notes for is two major things. One is that checklist that gets me through that week, allowing me to feel like I'm being productive. The second one is it really is just a way that I'll put my thoughts down. So if I'm like about to start a project, like let's say I'm going to do something for one of my classes, or maybe we're doing a Facebook strategy for the Facebook stuff for Generations Unlimited. Before I do anything, I just go open a notes document and I'll put all of my thoughts in. I'll be like, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Monday, terrible day of the week, worst day of the week for everybody. We're definitely not doing live videos on Monday. Monday, maybe we post some positive stuff on Monday. We kind of get people started off right. And I'll just put all those thoughts down, and then I'll copy that, and then I'll paste it to something where I can kind of put that in a little bit better of an order. So I almost use it as like a brainstorming thing. Like if I'm ever brainstorming.
So now, David, you have an iPhone, correct?
Yeah.
Well, if you have an iPhone and you're typing things on a Mac, there's a thing called handoff.
Yeah, I love it so much.
So handoff is actually a feature that Apple built that allows you to copy what's on your phone. You can use a feature to copy the stuff that's on your phone, and then you can come to your computer and it will paste it.
Yep.
So when you hit paste, it will paste the stuff that came from your phone or your iPad or any of those features like that. Now, for me, the feature that I love the most about Notes is the scan document photo. Scan document. So let's say that I'm at an event or I'm at a particular place where they had given me a handout. I can then take my phone and scan that document. What I really like to do is I like to do it with my iPad, because then I can pull out the Apple Pencil and kind of mark it up and do whatever I want to on that particular thing.
And I've used that a couple times. So when you say scan, I feel like some people think, or like you might just be like taking a picture of it, but it kind of finds the edges of the paper, right? And it kind of like crops it for you and adjusts it. So it's really like using a scanner that would be on a printer.
Correct. So what it does is it gives you more of a flatter surface. It gives you more of that. It creates it and puts it in like a PDF file, so that you have the ability to change it, to do different things, and it doesn't have that picture-esque look to it. And so it's great for a lot of different things. Doing it on a computer is difficult because then they're actually trying to look at your camera that is here. But
Right.
you can insert tables and charts into your notes if you wish. But if you're doing all that, might be best to head over to like a word processing thing just to get the best bang for your buck. And then I just wanted to say we've got about 20 more minutes left, but I just want to open up the floor for any questions that you guys have, any cool tips or tricks that you'd like to learn, anything like that.
So I have a question.
Okay.
This scan function. If I had like an old photo album and I want,
This what?
oh,
You broke up there. You broke up there for a
I'm in
second.
a tunnel. That's on me. If I have like an old like photo album, like printed photos that come off of a, not a digital camera, can I scan those with the app and like digitize my photos?
You can. They probably won't come out the best possible way.
So there's a better way to do it, probably.
The best possible way would probably be to get a scanner specifically that specializes in that, unless you have like a very clean surface, a very clean background. You've got everything set up the right way. Your hands aren't shaky. You've got like a tripod that's holding it. You're doing different things like that to help you get the best possible look. But when you put something in a specific scanner, that's processing that photo for that specific reason on a flat surface.
Okay.
What I would highly recommend is an Epson all-in-one. If you can go to Walmart, Best Buy, Target, any of those places, they typically carry Epson, especially like Office Depot or Office Max. They actually have an all-in-one device that will scan and go directly to those things. Now, the other thing is recently I came across the statistic that my generation will be the last generation that has printed photos. I believe I mentioned this in a previous video, but there's an app called Chat Books, and that's CHATT Books. And what that does is it gives you the ability to take the photos that you have put on Instagram, the photos that you have taken with your phone, and actually send those off, and they will send you a hard copy book. I think they're pretty cheap, about $15 to $30.
So that's a really good gift idea.
Yeah, great gift idea. But I think that's one of the main focuses and features. For me, if I was to show you guys a cool feature, it's kind of difficult with everything set up here. But in Pages, there's actually a feature to where you can annotate your signature and get your signature set up. So I can actually pull up a business card that has, and I can write my signature on it. I can show it to the camera and it will write my signature out. And I can use that on like signing documents or certain things like that. It's pretty cool.
That's
But when it comes to a lot of the different features of Microsoft Office or Microsoft Word, it's all in customizing your toolbar and knowing what you're looking to do with it.
So we're not being sponsored by anybody here, but it kind of sounds like you kind of advise people away from Microsoft Word. It sounds like there's a lot of free versions of things like Pages and Google that are, I mean, even potentially better.
I like to point people away from Microsoft usually, depending on what they're using it for. So my job as a whole is just to find what's going to be the best fit for most people. And typically most people are going to be doing super well with Pages. If you're running an office and you've got 40 employees, like one of my clients does, and they just bumped up to 55 employees and opened up a new office and did all these big things, which is great. It means more work for me. But at the same time, what's interesting about it is they need Microsoft Office because they're sending stuff back and forth to a ton of people. A lot of businesses use specifically Microsoft Office and the programs that are in that ensuite. But for the everyday user, for the people who are sitting at home, people who say, hey, what's going to be best for me? Do I want to go out and spend $700 on a computer to then go out and spend another $150 on a license for a program, to then go spend another $300 on a warranty, to go spend this amount of money? And I go, you've already got something right here at your fingertips that could work better for you. So the other thing is I'm a little bit biased when it comes to certain programs, just because I feel like I've had the best of both worlds. So when I first started working at Apple, I had an Android device. I walked.
Uh-oh. You may
Can you still hear me?
yeah, I think one of us got caught in some kind of like massive failure of internet.
Well, might need to come check that out over there at your house. No,
Stuff's going on.
I just feel like I'm a little bit biased because when I went in there, I had an Android and a PC, and I was like, I'll never use Apple products. They're for weirdos and hippies and just people that just don't understand technology. So I went in and I finally, after about 6 months, decided to give an iPhone a try. And it's not that the iPhones are better. It's not that Android's worse. It's not anything like that. Android has a ton of features and they're great phones. But Apple looks at it in a different way and says, hey, what is the simplest, easiest, most intuitive way for people to use a phone? And what's all this other stuff that they're probably never going to use? And how can we kind of keep them focused on one thing? There are phones out there that came out 3-4 years ago that have a 25 megapixel phone camera on their phone. This one still has a 12 megapixel phone. But this iPhone was rated the best phone to take a picture with because they've already incorporated all the settings. You don't have to fool with anything. You don't have to set anything up. When you pull your phone out of your pocket and want to take a picture, you take a good picture. And so the thing about Apple products such as Pages or the notes that we looked at earlier is they've already simplified those things for us. They've already made it in a way that says, hey, this is easy to understand. Back when they made the Apple IIe and they made all these other computers in the older generations, they actually had something on there that said when you got it, there was an instruction booklet, and the instruction booklet was about 100 pages long. And if you're anything like my clients, sorry, my computer's about to die. I don't want to disappear on you guys. But if you're anything like my clients, you probably have gotten one of those books that say Mac for Dummies or PC for Dummies. And you've got another one that says iPad for seniors or whatever it may be. And that book is this big. And since it's this big, it's so intimidating. And no one ever opens it up and no one ever uses it. And I've gone into probably 50 homes, and I've seen out of those 50 homes that have those books, all of them look like they've never been opened. They've been purchased, but they've never been opened.
Collector's items.
And so when a Microsoft computer, when the Windows computer first came out, they sent you a book that was this big, that was the instruction booklet. When an Apple computer came out, they sent you a little pamphlet that was 2-3 pages long. And in the pamphlet, it said, think of the easiest way to do something and try that. If it doesn't work, get up from your computer, walk around for a little bit, and come back and try it again. Those were the instructions, because that's how they made it to work. When you wanted to get rid of something, they created a trash can for you to get rid of it. You want to do all these different things, they made it the easiest possible way. So for me, I think when you're using a product for the everyday consumer, especially a lot of my clients are a little bit elderly. And so what they do is they want something that just works, that's easy to understand. And so for me, I like to point them in that direction. Yes, there's other programs that are out there. Yes, there are programs that can do a ton more stuff. But at the end of the day, is that what we really want? We want something that works.
So spoiler alert, you are a Pages guy.
I am a Pages guy. I highly recommend Pages to everyone. I have it on my phone. I've got it on my iPad. I've got it on my friends' tablets. I've got it all over the place. So
before we came on, I told you that I have a preferred program.
Correct. You did.
My preferred program until this very moment is Google. And so that Google Suite, I use Google Documents. I use Google PowerPoint. I do all of those. Just for you, just because of this, I'm going to do my next research paper on Pages, and I'm going to see how this experience goes. I'll report it back to you. Please do. Let me know. Also, if you need to do a PowerPoint, Apple actually makes a program called Keynote. Now, what's great about Keynote, I'll give you this little tidbit before I leave, is Keynote is actually a really great program that I've used quite often. And it has something called Keynote Remote. Now, what that does is, let's say that you're giving a presentation, whether it be on your Mac or it is on an iPad or whatever it may be. You can actually use your phone as a remote control in that process. You can use it as a laser pointer in that process. You can use it to look at your notes in the next slide in that process. So you have way more ability to customize it, to flow with it, to have a better experience than you would with a clicker that may or may not work. So I actually got the opportunity to use it for the Aiken County's Chamber of Commerce's big breakfast, Aiken Knows Business. And I got to show it to a lot of folks. There's about 400, 500 people in attendance. And it was pretty cool because their clickers did not work and my phone worked every time. So it was pretty neat. But if there are any questions, I would love to answer any of those. Or if anybody wants me to go more in depth with how to do something, how to save something, how to export a file, whatever that may be, I'd love to go in that process with you if that is something that you guys have. But you do have to comment. That sounds good. Well, Chris, thank you so much for being here today. Thank you so much for having me. We had Tech 101. If you guys did not know anything about computer and Word programs going out of today, I think you learned a lot. And I think everybody should at the very least probably try some of these things that you've recommended. We'll have you back next week. I have an interesting topic that I'm going to recommend to you. So we'll talk about that. And I am going to kick you off. Can we run that little video that you sent me? Can we run the little video about you? That sounds great. I love the video. It's a great way to start your day. I felt bad for not running it earlier. I'll have to send you my new video. I think you'll enjoy it. Yes, send me your new video. All right, we'll play that next week. Chris Crozier, Mobile Mentors. Check him out at mobilementors.co. He doesn't need the M. He is a technology genius. He took the M out. He no longer needs it. We will see you next week. Thank you so much, Chris. See you guys. And coming up next, we'll have Leah and Samantha from Clemson Snap Ed. Let's see this nice little video.
Everyone's been there. We've all hit a button on our phone and thought we've lost everything. We've all made a trip to the computer store to wait hours for an appointment or weeks on a repair. Just when you start to get a handle on learning your device, an update comes out and changes everything, putting you back at square one. But the thing we haven't had? Someone to help. Someone who speaks in a way that helps you understand. Someone who knows your time is precious. After working at the world's largest technology corporation for over 5 years, I realized that people weren't getting the personal attention they deserved. That's why I created Mobile Mentors. Mobile Mentors is a service-based company centered around technology that allows customers to receive training, consultations, and convenience based upon the needs of their devices. We love helping our customers and have a passion for solving their problems. Our goal is to meet you where you are and help to get you where you want to be. Your time is valuable. Spend it on things that matter. Allow us to be the friendly household name for all of your technology needs. Mobile Mentors. Technology made easy.
All right, we have a couple cameras that we need to turn on, but right now we are about to have a very, very much needed aerobics and yoga hour. Samantha, welcome back. We missed you so much last week. We send you all of our love. If we could just never have you not here with us again, that would be my favorite thing.
Hi, David. I'm so glad to be back and to be working out with you all again today. I hope that you all can see me. Oh, there we are. All right. So thanks for having us back, David. And I hope, or I heard that last week went really well. So I'm excited to be back working out with you guys again. And hopefully we'll have a good time today.
I already know that we will. I am going to get myself out of here because I'm not an expert, but you guys know that towards the end of the hour, I'll probably pop back in and do a little yoga with you. Let me give you guys the floor, though.
All right, everyone. So welcome back to another week of Clemson Snap Education Workout. I am so excited to be back with you all, and I hope you're ready. As per usual, the first thing that we're going to start with is finding our proper position in the chair, making sure that our posture is all right, because if you haven't been here before, just know that if you're doing your exercises without proper posture, you're going to hurt yourself. That's just a fact. So here we are again. We're going to find a proper posture. We're going to go ahead and do some breathing exercises, make sure that we're set up with that. And then, of course, we're going to do some chair yoga. I'll do a couple moves standing just to kind of give you some variety. And we're going to go into some light cardio, end it off with a little bit of yoga and breathing. And then David will come in and we'll be done for the day. Or we'll go on to whatever else David wants to do. Who knows? It's his show. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and find our proper posture, our proper seated, our neutral spine exercise. Y'all, I'm just coming back. Give me a minute. So we're going to go ahead and find our neutral spine position. All right. Now, what that really means for those of you who are new is essentially, again, just making sure that we find our proper seated, our proper posture, making sure that we're sitting up straight, that our heart is over our pelvis, that our head is over our heart. Because when we're doing that, and make sure, again, that we're keeping that proper posture, that we're reducing our chances for back pain, that we are reducing our chances for neck pain, and that ultimately that we are increasing our chances for being able to sit comfortably on those long car rides or at little pee-wee sports, or when we're sitting on the couch and we need to get up without doing the death flop. So we kind of walk over to the couch and flop on down. When you have proper posture, it creates less pain for you. And so you're able to get up and down and do the things that you need to do on a daily basis. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. First things first, neutral spine exercise. So we're going to go ahead and sit up as straight as possible. We're going to put our hands on our hips and we're just going to start rocking back and forth. All right, so we're just going to start rocking back and forth doing our neutral spine exercise. All right, now you'll notice that as you're trying to find your proper position, that when you lean too far forward, it's a little uncomfortable. And when you lean too far back, it's also kind of uncomfortable. And you can feel the strain on your neck. So what you want to do is find the middle ground in between the two, all right? That's where your pelvic bone is sitting right there in your chair. So we're gonna go ahead and lean forward. You'll notice it's uncomfortable. Gonna lean back. Again, it's uncomfortable, and we're putting that strain on our shoulders and our neck. So we're gonna go ahead, rock, and when you find the position, that middle ground between leaning forward and leaning backwards, that's when you'll know that you found the proper position, all right? So go ahead and do that just a couple more times, just to make sure that you know where you're going. All about the journey, not the destination. So now that we found our proper position, let's make sure that our heart is over our pelvis, all right? Now your pelvis is kind of like a little bowl, and it's gonna catch your heart, all right? So make sure that your heart is directly over your pelvis. Yes, sir, we are finding our position today, making sure that we are sitting up straight and taking care of our posture. Good posture is good for quite a few things. And then we're gonna go ahead and make sure our head is over our heart, all right? So we're not slouching down, we're not sitting too far back, we're not like this in the chair, hoping that I'll stop talking soon. It's not happening. So we're gonna go ahead and make sure that our pelvis, we're right there in the middle, we're sitting right there flat on the chair. We're gonna make sure our heart is over our pelvis. And then of course, we're gonna make sure our head is over our heart, okay? And release that tension, shake those arms out, release that tension, release that stress. It's all good, baby. It is all good today. So go ahead and release that tension, shake it out, wiggle your fingers, give me some jazz hands here. Just relax, 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 relax. It's all good here. All right, so first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and jump into our breathing exercises. Now that we've got our posture set up, we're gonna be able to breathe in deeply without straining too much, because when you're slouching and you try to breathe in deep, it's very uncomfortable. So make sure that you found your proper posture with us. Heart over pelvis, head over heart. We're gonna go ahead and start with just breathing in and out through, so in through our nose and out through our mouth. All right, so we're gonna do that first and foremost, just starting with some beginner breathing exercises, nothing too extensive. All right, so give me a deep one. Give me a deep one. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Here we go. All right, let's do 4 more of those. Give me some deep ones though, because we are relaxing from the tension. It's a Wednesday, all right? We just had 2 extra days of hot mess and nonsense. We're releasing that. So let's go ahead and do 4 more of those. In through the nose, out through the mouth. So in through the nose. Out through the mouth. 3 more, in through the nose. Out through the mouth. And give me some deep ones. I want to be able to hear that breath coming out of your mouth. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. All right, 1 more. In through the nose. And out through the mouth. All right, great job, guys. Go ahead and shake those arms out, release that tension. You shouldn't feel a stiffness in your shoulders, all right? Unless you slept on them wrong, but we'll work that out today. All right, so the next breathing exercise we're gonna do is our diaphragmatic breathing, all right? So we're gonna breathe into our diaphragm. Now, when we're doing this, we want to expand our lungs and not our stomach, okay? We want our stomach to stay the same. We need our lungs to expand because that's really where your diaphragm is, all right? Right about here. It's okay if you can't spell that, David. We'll get you next time. So the first thing we're gonna go ahead and do is we're going to expand our lungs. Keep your stomach the same, all right? If you need to tighten your tummy muscles a little, just to remind yourself, like, don't puff out your tummy like you just got through eating Thanksgiving dinner, then that's okay. Tighten those tummy muscles just a little bit. The main thing you want to do is expand your lungs because that's really where we're practicing that breathing. That's really where we're taking in that oxygen. And that's really where we're going to start to feel that relaxation, all right? So go ahead and you want to feel your lungs, expand, and then release. All right, you'll notice your shoulders kind of rising and falling as you're doing it. So we're gonna do that 5 whole times. All right, so let's begin. We're gonna breathe in through our nose, feel our lungs expand, keep your tummy the same. If you need to tighten those muscles, do it. And then we're gonna exhale, all right? So 5 times. Here we go. Number 1, breathe in through the nose. Out through the mouth. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. All right, I believe you got 2 more times. So in through the nose. Feel those lungs expand as wide as you can. And out through the mouth. All right, one more time, one more time. Give me a real good deep one. In through the nose. And out through the mouth. All right, great job, guys. Great job, guys. So one more breathing exercise, okay? Now, just like on the very first week, what we're going to do is we're going to do a sort of a full body experience. So if you are comfortable, then feel free to close your eyes. If not, then feel free to keep them open. That's perfectly fine. What we're going to be doing today is sort of like a visualization practice, okay? So when we breathe in through our nose, we're going to be breathing in peace. We're going to be breathing in a sense of calmness. We're going to be breathing in a sense of tranquility. And when we breathe out, we're going to be breathing out and pushing out anything that's been stressing us, okay? Anything that's been frustrating us, anything that has been driving us nuts. If it's the kids, if it's your husband, wife, sister, cousin, aunties, grandmama, go ahead and breathe them out. We're not keeping any of that in today, okay? So we're going to breathe in peace, tranquility. If you're a spiritual person, whatever spirituality, religion you follow, go ahead and breathe in whatever peace, tranquility that is related to that. And then breathe out whatever frustration, sins, whatever the case may be out, all right? We're exchanging. You're visualizing goodness coming in, and we are visualizing nonsense and foolishness going out, baby. That's what we're doing today. So let's go ahead and do that 5 times. And we're going to take some deep breaths. And you can kind of imagine almost like maybe a blue light coming in, peace, tranquility, positivity, and a red light, negativity, foolishness, all that nonsense going out. All right, so you're filled with red, and as you breathe in, you're breathing in the blue, and you're pushing out the red. All right, this is really great for your imagination. You're going to focus on that. So not the cars, not the TV, not the nothing else, not the cell phone. We're going to be focusing on those 2 colors. So breathe in blue, positivity, tranquility, peace. Breathe out negativity, and push out hard if you're real stressed, all right? So let's begin. So we're going to do this 5 times. Breathe in through your nose, blue light. Breathe out through your mouth, red light. All right, let's do it. Breathe in real deep. Feel those lungs expand. And breathe out, push hard. All right. So right now we're going to breathe in some peace. Push out worry. Not dealing with it right now. Right now, it's not our problem. Breathe in calm. Push out negativity. It's not in our zone right now. We're not dealing with it. Oop, not a problem. All right, 3 more. Breathe in tranquility. Push out frustration. All right. 1 more. Breathe in. And breathe out. All right, great job, guys. Great job, great job, great job. So the first thing we're gonna go ahead and do is jump right into our mountain pose, which of course, if you've been here with us for the past several weeks now, I mean, we've been going pretty strong. Thank you, David and Chris. So for the past few weeks now, we have been doing our chair workouts as well as our cardio. And the first thing we're gonna jump into is mountain pose. So go ahead, find that proper posture. Make sure you're in the middle, not too far back. head over pelvis, head over pelvis, and I'm pointing to my chest, chest over, heart over pelvis, and your head over your heart, all right? That is your anatomy. So you have like 2 lessons in 1 today. And we're gonna go ahead and start with our mountain pose, okay? And with our mountain pose, we're just going to go ahead and bend forward, bring our face forward because we don't want our head down because that's gonna put strain on the back of our neck and we don't want that pain, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and gently bring our face forward. And then we're just gonna come up. And that's where we're gonna start to feel that stretch in our back. And again, you wanna bend at the hips. You don't want to bend at your lower back because again, we're not trying to cause that stress and strain, okay? We're gonna keep our spine as straight as possible until we come up out of it. And we just wanna bend at the hips, okay? So not up here, down here, right at your hips. And we're gonna do that 5 times, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and take it down for 1. Bring your face forward, all right? We're not trying to put that strain on our neck. All right, and then bring it on back up. All right, that's 1, that's 1. Now we're gonna go ahead and bring it down for number 2. Keep that face forward. I should be seeing those eyes on me. And then we're gonna bring it back up. All right, great job, great job. 3 more. Now we're gonna go ahead and bring it down for another one. Bend at the hips, bend at your waist. Not putting that strain on our lower back. She doesn't deserve that. All right, then we're gonna bring it back up. And I'm gonna scoot my chair back just a wee bit. All right, now we're gonna bring it down for number 4. All right, and then bring it back up, back up, back up, back up, back up. All right, and then last one, number 5. Let's go ahead and take it down nice and easy, nice and easy. And then bring it back up, back up, back up, back up, back up, back up, back up. Great job, guys. So that was 5 of those mountain poses. Now the next one we're gonna go into is sun salutations. Now Leah's gonna go ahead and stay seated, but I'm gonna go ahead and do some variations, some options. All right. So I'm gonna scooch that onto the side. And with sun salutations, we're just gonna go ahead and greet the day. Whatever comes, we're just gonna go ahead and greet it. We're gonna run straight forward and we're gonna handle it like champions, all right? So here we go with our sun salutations. For demonstrations, we are just going to place our hands on our thighs. We'll bring them up towards the sky. We'll place our hands into prayer position, bring them back in front of our chest, open them wide for whatever we're about to receive, and then pull them to our sides, all right? So no biggie, super duper easy. So here we go. We're gonna do that 5 times, okay? 5 times for sun salutations. Leah's in the seated modified version where you don't have to get out of your chair. And I'm in the standing version. So here we go for number 1. Hands on our thighs. And we're just gonna bring it on up to the sky. Stretch those arms if you want to. Wiggle your fingers. Go ahead and bring them into prayer pose. Placing your hands together and then bringing them back in front of your heart. Go ahead and open wide for any positivity you're going to receive today, and then pull that bad boy close to you because we're claiming it. No matter what happens in today, we're claiming good things. All right, that's number 1. Let's go up for number 2. Prayer pose. Back down in front of our chest. Open wide for some goodness. And then pull it on down close to you. That's ours. All right, that's number 2. Going up for number 3. Coming into prayer pose. Back in front of our chest. Open wide for that positivity, those blessings, those good vibes, and pull them on close to you. All right, going up for number 4. Prayer pose. To the heart, because we mean it. Go ahead and open up wide for them. And then pull them down to your side. All right, now we're going in for number 5. Last one, make it a real good one. Go ahead and reach up towards the sky. Stretch those arms up towards the sky. Bring those hands together in the prayer pose. Pull them down in front of your chest. And then open up wide, open up wide, open up wide. All right, and then pull them down towards you. Nice job, everyone. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab my chair once more. And then we are going into a seated spinal twist, all right? That's seated spinal twist. Now, if you're new here and you haven't been, our seated spinal twist for demonstration is just gonna help us stretch our back out a little bit. We're gonna be doing this gently, but firmly, if you will. So with our seated spinal twist, we're just gonna go ahead and take our opposite hand, turn to the side, reach that arm back, and go ahead and give it a nice little gentle stretch, all right? And we're just gonna hold that for about 10 seconds on each side. And we're going to do it 5 times per side. Because we don't just wanna stretch out one side and leave the other side not stretched out, be all lopsided. You don't want that. So we're just gonna go ahead, and again, for demonstration purposes, we'll reach back, roll the arm back, and then we're just going to hold that position, okay? Now you wanna make sure that you are sitting up straight when you do this. So you don't wanna be slouching, you don't wanna be bending backwards trying to reach back. You wanna be seated in proper position and sitting up straight. So seated spinal twist, all right? Here we go. So let's go ahead and reach that left arm or right arm, whichever one you are using at the moment. Reach that back, then reach your right arm back and go ahead and give that a nice little stretch. And we're gonna hold that for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now bring it on back to center. Great job, great job. Now you gotta go to the other side now because again, we don't want this to be uneven. So go ahead and situate yourself. Make sure your pelvis is on that chair where it's supposed to be, not too far forward, not too far back. You want good posture. So go ahead and throw that right arm back. Then go ahead and throw that left arm. And we're gonna hold that for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it on back to center. So that's 1 on both sides. So we have 4 more. Ready? Let's do it. All right, so reach on back. Hold it for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Perfection. That's 2 on that side, so make it even. Bring it on over. And hold that for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, bring it on back to center. So that's 2. Let's keep going. We have 3 more, so stay with me. If you need to take a break though, don't hesitate. Breaks are for the strong because we know better. All right, so let's go ahead and bring it on over for number 3. Reach that arm back. And hold that for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, now let's go ahead and take that over to the other side. Bring it on in. Keep it going. Hold it for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it back to center. So that was number 3. Now we're going in for 4 and 5, 2 more. Let's go ahead and tuck it in. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, bring it back to center. Take a deep breath for me. Blow it on out. Deep breath one more time. Blow it on out. All right, let's go to the next side. So hold that for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, bring it back to center. Now we got one more. So 1 rep or repetition. All right, so let's go ahead and bring it on over. Last one, guys. Go ahead and stretch. Make sure you're seated in the proper posture. Go ahead and stretch it on out. So in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it back to center. Relax, relax, relax your shoulders. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, last side. Bring it on over. Hold that for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly bring it on back to center. Perfect, guys. Perfect. All right, so the next thing we're going to go ahead and get into is our seated half moon. So our seated half moon twist, all right? So that's what we're going to go ahead and get into next. Now go ahead and take just a couple of deep breaths. Thanks for throwing that up there, David. So let's go ahead and take a couple of deep breaths before we get into it. Remember, we want to still be breathing, so don't hold your breath when you're doing this. You don't want anyone passing out, all right? I see you over there. Stop it. All right, so here we go. Take a deep breath for me. Give your brain the oxygen it needs. And breathe out. One more big deep breath. And breathe out. All right, so seated half moon twist. So in our seated half moon twist, we're just going to go ahead and make a nice T shape. And then as we are bending over, we are going to go ahead and have our palms down, and the side we're going to bend to, we're going to just lean over to the other side. Okay, so let's go ahead and do a demonstration. So we're going to go ahead and have our arms in a T position. We're going to turn the right palm towards the sky, and then we're just going to lean over, not so far that we're tipping or about to fall out of our chair, but just enough to where we feel that stretch in our lower back. Then our core, all right, because we're really going to be strengthening that core as we do this. And then we're just going to take it back to center, all right? Then we'll turn that right palm towards the ground and return the left palm skyward, and then we're going to lean to that side. Just enough where we feel that pinch and we have to use our tummy muscles. And then we'll bring it back to center. Turn our left palm towards the ground. And that's how we do those seated half moon twists, all right? So we're going to do 5 of those on each side. All right, so are we ready? All right, let's do this. All right, so go ahead and make that T pose, And we're going to go ahead and turn our right palm towards the sky, keeping our left palm downwards. And we're just going to lean just far enough to where we feel that stretch in our lower back and we feel our tummy muscles having to kick in, all right? Holding us up in proper position because we don't want to be leaning up, down, sideways, all that good stuff. So lean it on over. Bring it back to center. Turn that right palm towards the ground, that left palm skyward, and then go ahead and lean it over. Now bring it on back to center, left palm towards the ground. All right. Now, if your arms are feeling a little weak, feel free to go ahead and make the T pose, but bending at the elbow, all right? So you're not putting as much weight or as much stagnant pressure on your arms. And feel free to just release that tension as well. Because we want to feel that stretch, but we don't want to hurt ourselves. That's important. All right, so go ahead and make that T pose for me. So that was number 1. So we have 4 more. Go ahead and turn that right palm towards the sky, left palm facing towards the ground. Go ahead and bend to your right, or whichever side you decided to start with. Take it on over. Bring it back to center, right palm towards the ground, left palm towards the sky. Take it on over. Great job, guys. Great job. Left palm towards the ground, right palm towards the sky. Take it on over. This is number 3. Back to center, right palm towards the ground, left palm towards the sky. Take it on over. Great job, guys. Go ahead and shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. I know you're feeling it. We got 2 more, 2 more. All right, T-pose. Go ahead and turn that right palm towards the sky. Lean it on over. Bring it on back, bring it on back. Right palm down, left palm up. Bring it on over. This is number 4. Hang in there. You got 1 more. Now bring it on back to center. All right, 1 more. Right palm towards the sky. Take it on over. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it back to center. Right palm down, left palm towards the sky. Take it on over. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, bring it on back to center. Relax your shoulders. I know you're feeling it. Hang in there. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and get into our seated calf stretches, all right? So let me back up just a wee bit. So with our seated calf stretches, we're just gonna go ahead and scooch to the edge of our chair, not so far forward that we're gonna fall off. We just want to make a nice square between the back of our legs and the legs of the chair. All right, so we want to see, for those of you mathematicians out there, we want to see a nice 90-degree angle with your legs, okay? If you don't know what that is, don't worry about it. Just make a nice square with the back of your legs and the legs of the chair. All right, so we're going to get into our seated calf stretches. And we're going to go ahead and come to the edge of our chair, again, not so far that we're about to fall off. And we're going to go ahead and stick our right foot out. So go ahead and leave your left foot planted on the ground, flat on the ground. And we want our right foot to be out. And we want to bring our big toe. So we kind of want to pull our big toe back towards our chest, okay? And you're going to start to feel a stretch as you're doing that. If it hurts, ease up a little. It's okay. We don't need to overdo it today. We're just going through the stretches. But we want to go ahead and bring that big toe back towards our chest. That's where we're going to start to feel that stretch. And if you want, you can go ahead and reach down towards that big toe, just so you can really start to feel that stretch in your upper thigh. If you want a little extra challenge, if you just want to do the calf stretches and you want to feel just that big toe coming towards you and feeling that stretch in your calf, that's okay too. Remember, we're not overdoing it. We're just relaxing and stretching a little bit, breaking out some of that tension in our bodies. And we're going to hold that for 15 seconds, all right? So let's go ahead and bring that big toe back towards our chest. We're going to hold that for 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, perfection. Relax. Relax your leg, relax your foot. Go ahead and plant your right foot firmly on the ground, so flat on the earth. We're going to go ahead and extend our left leg, placing our heel on the earth. So the heel of our left foot on the earth. And we're going to pull that big toe back towards our chest. That's when we're going to start to feel that stretch. If you want an extra stretch, reach down towards that big toe. And that's where you're going to feel it in your upper thigh as well. That's if you want a challenge. No biggie if you want to take it easy today. I'm with you. And we're just going to go ahead and hold that for 15 seconds. So 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, perfection, perfection, perfection. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go back into mountain pose, and then we're going to do some light cardio, because if we don't get that heart rate up, are we really exercising? No. No way. All right, so go ahead and sit right in the middle. So go ahead and just sit comfortably in your chair. We're going to head back into those mountain poses, all right? Remember, bend at the hips. Make sure that you are seated properly with your pelvis on the chair, heart over pelvis, head over heart. Mountain pose. And we're going to take it down for 5. So bend forward, keep that head up. We don't want to put that strain on that neck. And then bring it on up. That's number 1. Let's take it down. Bend at the hips. And then bring it on up. That's number 2. 3 more. Take it on down. And then bring it back up. Perfection, perfection. That is number 3. We have 2 more. Take it on down. And then bring it back up. Bring it back up. Bring it back up. I see you doing perfectly well. And then the last one. Bring it on down. And then right back up, back up, back up, back up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into this light cardio. So the first thing we're going to go ahead and do is march in place and do some jabs, all right? Now, for those of you who are seated, feel free to just lift your legs in a marching formation, a marching style, however you wish to word it. We want to go ahead and just lift those legs and go ahead and jab. For those of you who are up for standing, we're just going to go ahead and start by marching in place. Remember, we're going to get that heart rate up just a little bit. If you're seated, lift your legs in your chair. Getting that heart rate up and we're getting moving. Again, this is low intensity cardio, so we don't have to break a sweat. If you do break a sweat, that's okay. But we don't have to break a sweat or break out the weights or anything like that. Just going to go ahead and march in place. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. We're going to start jabbing. 2 and 1 and jab and jab. Here we go. Remember, getting that heart rate up. Get those knees as high as you can. Don't overdo it. Keep it going. Remember to breathe. If you're holding your breath, stop it. Take a deep breath in, breathe it on out. Keep going. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, perfect, perfect, perfect. Now, the next thing we're going to do is our side reach and tap. So our side to side reach and tap. And if you're seated in your chair, what you will do is you'll simply extend your leg forward and reach to the side, all right? So if I extend my right leg forward, I'm going to bend to the side, to the left, and then bring it back in. Bend, bend. And that's how we're going to go ahead and do that. If you are standing, then you will throw your right leg behind you and you reach your left arm out. And remember to keep your back as straight as possible. The reason being is because we don't want to hurt ourselves. All right, we want to keep that proper posture. Proper posture when exercising is so important. So again, if you're seated in your chair, you're just going to extend your leg out in front of you and reach to the side. If you are standing up, you're going to throw that leg behind you and reach to the side. That's when you're going to start to feel that stretch a little bit, all right? So we're going to do that 10 times. Ready? All right, let's go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Last one, 10. And you know what? Because I'm so nice, I think we're gonna go ahead and do that again for another 10 times. Let's do it. So ready, set, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, almost 10. All right, let's take a deep breath in. And breathe it on out. One more time. Hold it. And breathe out. All right, here we go into our modified jumping jacks. Same as before, if you're sitting in your chair, just go ahead and extend the leg forward and bend your arms up. And then bring it back. All right, and if you're standing up, all you'll do is reach out to the side. All right, great job, great job. So let's go ahead and get into our modified jumping jacks, okay? You don't have to lift your arms all the way up if you do not have that full range of motion. That's why we're gonna go ahead and stop right here at our shoulders. So half jacks or modified jumping jacks. I love it, David. All right, so here we go. We're gonna do that 10 times, okay? So if you're sitting in your chair, you're just gonna extend your leg forward and bring your arms up. And then bring it on back. Extend forward and bring it on back. If you're standing up, you're just gonna stick that leg out to the side and bring it on back. Ready? Begin. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Let's do that 10 more times. We're getting in some extra exercise today, so let's go ahead and do it. And ready, set, begin. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Perfect, guys. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So now we're going to go ahead and balance on one leg. So for those of you who have problems getting on and off the curb, this is definitely going to help. When you have strength in both legs, then you won't topple over as much or feel a sense of unsteadiness or uneasiness as you're going up and down curbs or even stairs. So if you are seated in your chair, you're simply going to lift your leg a little bit off the ground, just enough where you feel the tension, but not so much where it hurts. All right, and you're just gonna hold that steady for 10 seconds. Now, if you're standing up with me, you can either hold on to the back of a chair and raise your leg, or you can place both arms in the air to kind of help you increase that balance, all right? So we increase that practice. Go ahead and raise those arms in the air and hold your leg up. Now, no matter where you are, start from where you are. Okay, so no matter where you are, start from your level. Okay, so if you need to take a seat in the chair, if you need to stand up, hold on to a chair, if you need to raise those arms up, that's perfectly fine. We're just going to go ahead and balance on one leg for 10 seconds apiece. And that, again, is going to increase our balance when we're stepping on and off curbs, when we are stepping upstairs, or even if you have to step up to go into a house and it just has that little lip there, that little raised, elevated part of the house that you sometimes trip over. We're gonna go ahead and practice, all right? So I'm gonna go ahead and balance on our leg. We're gonna go ahead and lift our right leg up. We're gonna hold that for 10 seconds, guys. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Again, if you need to use the back of the chair, go ahead. Now we're going to go ahead and balance. We're going to lift our left leg up and we're going to hold that for 10 seconds. Remember, this is going to increase your balance, increase your ability to step on and off curves, going up and down stairs, things of that nature. So give this a go. And we're going to hold that for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Go ahead and gently lay that leg down. All right. So now we're going to go into our posture stretch. So I need you to stand up as straight as you can. Palms facing outward. Going to go ahead and pull our shoulder blades together and then look up towards the sky. And you're going to feel that stretch in your upper back as well as in your neck, all right? That's where we tend to hold a lot of tension, so let's go. Palms facing forward, bring those shoulder blades together and look up towards the sky. Let's hold that for, let's do 15 seconds. So 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great job, guys. Great job. So now we're going to go ahead and do our shoulder stretches. And with our shoulder stretches, we're just going to go ahead and bring our arm across our chest. Take our hand and gently place it on our elbow. And we're just going to press just a little bit. Not so much that we're hurting ourselves. We're just going to press. And then at the same time, simultaneously reach our right arm or our left arm outwards. So we're just going to reach just a little bit. And that's when you're going to start to feel that stretch in your shoulder. Remember, don't overdo it. Don't press too hard. We don't want to hurt ourselves, but we just want to feel a little bit of tension or stretch in our shoulder. All right, and we'll hold that for 15 seconds. So 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, gently release, gently release. All right, now same thing as we're going to bring the opposite arm that you didn't use the first time over. Cup your elbow, gently press and reach that arm out. All right, that's when you're going to start to feel that tension, that stretch. Reach it out, reach it out, reach it out. And hold that for 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, gently release, gently release. All right, now we're going to get into some shoulder rolls. So let's do that 10 forward and 10 backwards. So we're going to go ahead and bring it forward. And then again, we'll do it backwards. All right, so give me 10 forward. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, now we're going to go ahead and get into 10 backwards. So 1, 2, 3, remember to breathe, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, all right, all right. So I'm going to go ahead and take a seat in my chair once more. All right. Now we're going to go ahead and do some single knee circles. All right. So single knee circles. That's what we're going to go ahead and do next. And that is really just going to help us to start to get ready to stretch out our thighs. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and lift our knee. We're going to cup our hands just below the back of our knee. We're going to lift our knee, or excuse me, lift our leg up off the floor. It could be 3 inches, 6 inches. It could be 1 inch. really just as high as you can get it up off the floor, okay? Because what we're gonna do is we're just gonna go around in circles, bringing our knee up and around in circles. Just going ahead and flexing that joint a bit. And we're going to do that 5 times in each direction. So we'll take it 5 times to the right and 5 times to the left. And then I'll take you into our hip stretch for each leg. Because remember, we don't want to be lopsided. No, we don't. So let's go ahead and come just a little bit to the edge of our chairs if you need to. Gonna cup our hands at the back of our knee and lift that leg up as high off the ground as you can go. If you can't go very high, don't worry about it. This is just the beginning. And then we're gonna take it 5 times to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's 5 times to the right. Now we're going to bring it 5 times to the left. Ready? Begin. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and do a little hip stretch on this leg, and then we'll do our single knee circle again for our other leg that we haven't used. If you started with your right leg like I did, then that'll be my left leg that we'll do next. But let's go ahead and take our right foot, place it on top, and let me scooch back just a little bit. All right, so we're going to go ahead and take our right foot and place it on top of our left leg. And then just like we did in mountain pose, we're just going to bend at the hips, keeping our face looking forward. So you need to see my eyeballs. And we're just going to bring it on forward. And that's when we're going to start to feel that stretch in our hips, all right? All right, so remember, place that foot over that left knee, much like you're kind of sitting cross-legged. Hands on your hips, bend at the waist, and we're going to hold that for 10 seconds. So let's go ahead and bend forward and hold that for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Now we're going to go ahead and gently uncross our legs, place our right foot back on the floor, and let's go ahead and flex that hip joint. So go ahead and cup your hands under the back of your left knee or right knee, depending on which one you started with. Go to the one you haven't done yet. Cup your leg, cup your hands, cup your legs. We're going to cup our hands underneath our left leg. Lift up that leg as high as we can get it off the ground. And then we're going to take it 5 to the right and then 5 to the left. Let's begin. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you'll notice the difference between your driving leg and the leg that you just kind of leave sitting off to the side. Let's go ahead and go to the left 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, last one, and 5. All right, let's go ahead and do a hip stretch for this bad boy. So let's bring our left foot, sit it over our knee gently. Make sure it's not sitting on the knee because we're not trying to hurt that joint. We just want to sit it just a little behind that knee, okay? Don't want to hurt that joint. So if you can get it there, you're doing great. Hands on your hips. And then just like we did the last time, we're going to take it down for 10 seconds. So let's go ahead and bend forward. That's when you're going to start to feel that stretch. If bending too far forward hurts, remember to ease up a little. We want to feel the stretch, but we don't want to be in pain. Let's go ahead and bend it, bend at the waist as straight as possible. Face forward. And they're going to go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And just go ahead and bring it on back up. All right. And gently place that leg back down on the ground. We don't want to flank it because we don't want to hurt any of our joints, especially if you just got through having a flare up from your arthritis or anything of that nature, or if you just haven't worked out in a while. We want to be gentle on our bodies. We only get one. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is our chair assisted downward dog. So typically when we're doing yoga, if you have more dexterity, more flexibility, then we would simply flop out our mats and get into position. But we're going to use our chairs because no one's getting on the floor today, y'all. So we're just going to stand up behind our chairs, move these bad boys forward. If you're seated in your chair, then you can simply lift your arms up towards the sides of your head and then bend forward at the waist. Now, because we're standing, what we're going to go ahead and do is I'm going to grab the back of my chair, and then we're just going to slowly walk it on back into position, making sure our arms are straight, our back is straight, and our head is facing towards the ground. All right. So we want to make a nice flat surface with our arms and our head. Again, if you're seated in your chair, lift your arms on up and then just bend at the waist. You'll still receive the same stretch. All right. Now we're going to hold this one for 15 seconds. Ready? Let's do it. All right. So for those of us standing, we're just going to go ahead and grab onto the back of our chair. And we're just going to go ahead and walk it back. If you're seated, go ahead and take it down. Take it on down nice and slowly. We want our arms and our back to make a nice flat surface together. We're going to hold that for 15 seconds. So 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Walk it back up slowly. If you're seated, bring it on up slowly. All right. So now we're going to go ahead and do some neck stretches. Then we'll go into some arm circles, and then we'll be done for today. So let's do it. Neck stretches. Now remember, when you are stretching out your neck, you don't want to bring your ear all the way down to your shoulder. That's just going to cause you to have a nasty crick in your neck. And for those of you who don't know what a crick is, it's sort of like a cramp. We don't want any cramps in our neck today. So we're just going to gently bring our ear halfway towards our shoulder, just until you feel a nice little stretch on the other side of your neck. And again, we're doing neck stretches. And we're going to hold that for 10 seconds. And remember to breathe, all right? If you're holding your breath, stop it. So let's go ahead and bring that ear close to our shoulders, about halfway until you start to feel a stretch on the other side of your neck. And we're going to hold that for 10 seconds. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, bring it up nice and slow. Now we're going to take it to the opposite side, guys. And hold that for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You are absolute perfection. Bring it back up to center. Make sure you have your pelvis seated perfectly in your chair. If you need to do your neutral spinal exercise one more time, rocking back and forth, make sure you find your middle ground. Your heart is over your pelvis. Your head is over your heart. Sit it on up straight. Let's take our arms out into a T position. We're going to do our last exercise of the day, and before we get into our breathing exercises. And with this bad boy, we're just going to do some arm circles. We're going to do 10 forward and 10 backwards. All right. So ready? Begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, now let's take it on backwards. 1, 2, 3, nice and easy, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, you're feeling it now, 9, and 10. Bring those arms on down, nice and easy. Do some shoulder rolls, relax, flex it on out. And let's do some deep breathing exercises, in through the nose, out through the mouth, super simple, especially if you've been holding your breath this whole time. We wanna go ahead and just breathe on in. And I wanna see you make that face, all right? Make the pucker face, like, all right, so let's breathe it on in. And then pucker face, breathe it on out. Breathe it on in. Pucker face. One more deep breath. Deep one, deep one, deep one. Hold it. All right, now pucker face. All right. Thank you so much for joining us again for another week of exercises with Clemson Snap Ed. Take it away, David.
Hey guys, thanks so much for coming again. Leah, thank you for being here. Samantha, we missed you so much last week. I hope for the best for both of you guys. I hope we talk really, really soon. Thank you so much for taking time out of your days to be here.
Awesome, David. Well, again, thank you so much for having us, and we'll see you all next time.
All right, and just remember, guys, that's Clemson Snap Ed. We've got the words on the bottom of the screen now. Y'all have a fantastic day. We will see you next week. All right, guys, we did promise you a professional cooking show today. We have celebrity chef Jamie Oliver in the house, kind of. We're gonna stream a Jamie Oliver roast dinner mega mix is what it's called. I barely understand it, but it seems like it's gonna be really, really cool. And so here, if I can figure out all this switching tabs thing that we have going on, here we go.
Hi guys, hope you're well. We're making speak. People love it, and I